most important thing that happened at CPAC, and the thing that made a lot of news, was that Steve Bannon and Reince Priebus sat down together. Now, there's all this theoretically fake news about the fact that they hate each other and they're struggling with each other and all this. And Bannon just came out and said it's ridiculous. But Priebus made the point that the two of them together represent a coming together of conservatism and the Republican Party, because the Republican Party has been a vehicle for conservatives, but it hasn't really been a conservative party since Reagan, who, remember, took over the Republican Party. They didn't want to give it to him. He took over the Republican Party in the same way, in a similar way to Trump. So here is Priebus talking about why the Priebus-Bannon coalition is a good thing.
Donald Trump, President Trump, brought together the party and the conservative movement. And I've got to tell you, if the party and the conservative movement are together, similar to Steve and I, it can't be stopped. And President Trump was the one guy, he was the one person, and I can say it after overseeing 16 people kill each other. It was Donald Trump that was able to bring this party and this movement together. And Steve and I know that. And we live it every day. Our job is to get the agenda of President Trump through the door and on pen and paper.
The New York Times, a former newspaper, did a story about this transgender thing. And I wasn't kidding in that opening when I said half their op-ed page was dedicated to this. This is a policy that has been ruled illegal by a U.S. district court. It affects maybe 17 people in the entire country. It's an absurd overreach of federal government into local schools, right? So they get rid of it. And the New York Times has this anonymous source story telling how it happened. And the story is that Jeff Sessions said, look, we're not going to spend taxpayer dollars appealing this. There's no reason in law for us. There's no excuse in the law for us to be reaching into local schools. And Betsy DeVos, the education secretary, she came in and said, no, I think we should leave this in place because we don't want to give the impression that we want transgender kids to be bullied. And so there were two sides. They were arguing it out, and Trump made the decision to go with Sessions. And the Times ran this as if it was some kind of sinister thing of like chaos. I thought, that's exactly how I want the White House to run. That's exactly how I want the White House to run. I want people with diverse views to come in and make their case, and the president to make a decision between them. Sounds good to me. So Priebus is saying that Trump has, around himself, united these two poles of the party.